your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gipson for 1010XL. New Jaguars defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen met the media this morning before training camp practice and was asked what has stood out in the short time he's worked with Josh Hines-Allen.
He's a competitor. He really wants it. Putting in the time since he's been here, last couple of days, you can really see the intensity, the practice yesterday. Again, day one, so the consistency and things like that we're looking for. But he says all the right things. He wants to be a great player. He wants to have a great defense and a great team.
Jaguars defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen this morning on Josh Hines-Allen. It's 89 degrees at 12 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, get ready to spend the next 2 hours with our three sports-loving ladies. Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl. Hey!
This is Helmets and Heels
on 1010XL, switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor. Show me what you got, pretty lady.
All right, day 2 of training camp. Happened a little bit ago today. We also got to hear from Ryan Nielsen this morning. I really like the aggressiveness of the defense. That was my biggest takeaway from going to practice today. They are vocal. Ryan Nielsen will get after guys if he needs to. I could hear Jarian Jones chirping a bunch at the offense. They have a feistiness about them. And I'm not saying that Mike Caldwell's defense never had that. Just saying that observing today, I really like to see the energy from the defense.
Yes, and I think that is an important way to begin today's program, especially, Lauren, as I log on to X to interact with our Heeligans, and I see the lead story from the Florida Times-Union, our good friends there. Jacksonville Jaguars training camp report, Trevor Lawrence isn't playing like a $275 million man. Look, he
with
had
the picture of the towel in his helmet. So that
right. I mean, hey, listen, if you're looking for clicks, great job. Here's the thing. Did Trevor play great today? No. Was it a byproduct of not a single offensive player being open about 50% of the time? Yes. Was that because the players weren't creating separation? Was it because the structure of the offense looks clunky? Is it because they're still learning the offense? There's different players being shuffled in so you can learn how to line up with Elijah Cooks as well as you can line up with Joshua Cephas. I don't know why, but I do know that in watching it, it wasn't that Trevor wasn't going through his progressions or he was airmailing the ball. It was quite literally that no one was open and he was trying to fit the ball into such tight windows because I think a large byproduct of that, Lauren, is because of how sticky Ryan Nielsen and Chris Richard's defense already is 2 days into training camp. And look, defense is always going to get the best of the offense the first few days of training camp. Time has told us that time and time again. But I do think we need to take a deep breath. Everyone who's panicking, I don't think it's all on the quarterback. I think it's the operation as a whole. That, in turn, may incite a little bit of panic.
Yeah, I mean, I was not there this morning, so I was just obviously seeing the reports of people kind of live tweeting or some of the stuff afterwards. And a few things off of that. Number one, it's the second day of camp, so let's just relax for a little bit. And I tweeted this a few weeks ago. Remember, there's going to be days where the offense looks better, where they win, quote, and then there's going to be days when the defense does that. To me, that's a positive thing because to me, that means both sides of the ball are having their moments and are playing well. If you have a camp where the defense is winning every single day, then, if we're talking about this at the end of August where it's still looking like this, then there's maybe some concerns. Or vice versa. If it ends up being where, this first few days are defense and then for the rest of the time the offense is dominating the defense, there's probably some issues defensively. So I think that, number one, we have to take it a little bit with a grain of salt because it is going to be one of those situations where you want days where each of them win. You want days where certain players on the defense are really popping off and shining. One of the biggest storylines right now is that corner opposite Tyson and how important that is and who's going to fill that role. So to see some of those guys really kind of come into their own and pretty quickly is a positive thing to me, because that is one of my bigger concerns on the roster personally. I also think that, and I said this many times this offseason, you have two of your 3 starting wide receivers are new. And so they're not only learning this offense, but learning Trevor. They're all getting a connection together. Mitch Morse is also new. The offensive line barely played together last year in general. So there's a lot of kind of newness that is going on when it comes to this offense. And so it's going to take a little bit for them to really start clicking and learning each other. And I'm not going to be surprised, honestly, if that bleeds into the regular season, but I don't think people should panic. I do think that it's going to take 3-4 weeks of actual games for all new receivers pretty much outside of Christian Kirk to really start clicking with Trevor.
Defense gets to play off of pure instincts, right? That's why always early in training camp, it seems like the defense, quote unquote, wins. They are putting those guys into situations where, yes, it's a new scheme, but they're able to play free and easy. The offense, of course, has to continue to install. And so while we thought maybe that this offense was going to be ahead of where they are now, because Trevor's in year 4, you're certainly 3 under Doug Peterson, it doesn't always happen like that. But I didn't think the offense looked bad, Mia. I just thought the defense was able to step in front of the ball quite often. We got to see Dewey have 2 picks. That was fun for the fans.
No, I honestly thought the offense was struggling, Lauren. I'm not going to lie. And that's not to say that that's not because the defense played well. It's to say that it just looked clunky. The fact that Trevor, after every throw, is, yes, he already, by routine, will bring the wide receiver over and kind of debrief about what they thought about the play. But the fact that he's having to do it with Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk, 2 guys who at this point in time, combined with Doug Peterson and Press Taylor, should all be on the same page, right? I understand you're knocking off some rust right now, but I just couldn't help but be the fact that the timing there isn't right. I don't believe it's the timing with 16. They've been throwing with him for 2+ years now. Yeah. And so as much as Trevor said yesterday, the playbook isn't that new, then what's the issue? You can credit the defense. I'm here to credit the defense, but I also can't help but say this is a group that has worked together, at least that small sample size of Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Trevor Lawrence, and I understand there's a lot of other things at play as any single play, any single snap is going into effect. But I just couldn't help but feel like there was just clunkiness. Yeah. And it wasn't because of athleticism. It wasn't because of it was just structurally, it looked clunky today.
Did you think it looked like, so you didn't think it looked like that yesterday?
No. Yeah. No. Yesterday I thought was truly just great defense. Truly. Yeah. I thought yesterday was truly great defense. Today, I don't know if they were trying out different things, which, hey, this is the time to do that. So I am A-okay with trying out different things. But the fact that you saw Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram have balls either go over, Trevor either overthrew them or it got picked off, or they weren't on the same page. They weren't in the right position. And then they're having to talk. If that's the situation with those 2, then what is the situation going to be with some of these younger guys?
Yeah. Well, and I will say when it comes to, this is 2 days where people are saying the defense is playing really well, and there's some guys that we already knew with Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. We knew there's certain guys that were going to come out here and perform well quickly, but there's other names being grouped into the ones that are coming out of camp playing well and kind of surprising some people. And to me, that's beneficial because the Jags the Jags are kicking off a season against a really good defense. So to be able to be tested this early on into camp, I think is going to be beneficial for them, because there's been seasons where the defense was not that in recent years, and you could tell by week 1 that the offense was not ready because they weren't going up against guys that were giving them anything.
Great segue, Taylor. We, of course, want to hear from you Heeligans, especially those of you who were at training camp practice number 2 today, and that includes our friend 264 with some great insight on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. This defensive personnel, the group of players, has largely been playing this offensive scheme for 3 years. Trevor has been playing against Ryan Nielsen's defensive scheme for 3 weeks. It's a good point to be made. Yeah. It's the same players that he's used to, but perhaps are they lined up that differently comparatively to the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, and I think what's been fun is between yesterday and today, I think we've learned at least a little bit about some of these guys that he wants to use at the linebacking position. Going into this, when we did our 53-man roster last week, I did not have Yasir Abdullah on the team. If I was going to do the 53-man roster right now, I would have Yasir Abdullah on the team. I also didn't have Caleb Johnson on the team. I might have him on the team too. And so it's fun watching what Nielsen is doing and what this defense is going to look like. And honestly, I hope that there are fans that go out there that are like, wait, who they're putting that guy there and that guy there. Like, I never expected that because it's so different than what Mike Caldwell did.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the linebackers, Lauren, because I do think that when we did our 53-man roster projections on Monday, some of the feedback we got from our Heeligans was that we didn't have enough.
That was just this week? That wasn't last week?
I know. It feels like 6 years
feels
ago.
like 4 weeks ago.
It feels like 6 weeks ago. It was 4 days ago. But no, some of the feedback we got was that there weren't enough interior linebackers, enough off-ball linebackers that we actually had listed on each of our 53-man rosters.
I did have Yasir on mine.
I did too, but I also view him. I had him in that position room. I think he will go between the defensive front as a pass rusher and then also the linebackers.
Yeah.
But yeah, Caleb Johnson's a guy who, look, he was on the street for a month after becoming a free agent in March, or at least a couple of weeks. The Jaguars really value his special teams ability. He had the interception yesterday and a pass breakup. Didn't flash nearly as much today, but he's a guy who's been on this roster for 2 years. And now as they move to this 4-3 defense, it's going to be curious. Coupling that with the new kickoff rules and how you value certain body types on the new kickoff comparatively to the previous iteration, it'll be curious to see how many linebackers they actually keep.
If it is a Caleb Johnson, who does he replace on your depth charts?
That's the
because that's the problem
question
for me. If you're looking at the linebacker group, I had Lloyd, Ventrell Miller, Yasir Abdoulaye-Foye, and Chad. But I almost, this last couple days, all of the conversations we've had, especially with Devin Lloyd and what we're expecting from Devin Lloyd, and we had the comments from Bucky Brooks and Frank talking about where they feel like Devin Lloyd really fits and can excel in this defense. And it almost feels like, to me, Chad Muma's losing his place on this roster over some others.
He's not. I would say he is a starting linebacker in the 4-3. I would say it's going to be Foye Luakin. It's going to be, in watching the last 2 days, and again, they can certainly change things. It's going to be Foye, it's going to be Devin Lloyd, and then when they have a third linebacker on the field, it's going to be Chad Muma.
It is a numbers game, though, Taylor. And so if I was going to subtract somebody, I mean, then that philosophical question of, do you want to carry 6 DBs? Do you view Darnell Savage as an extension of the DB room, or is he a safety? And not that you can only have 6 DBs, you can only have 5 safeties. Like, I'm not saying that.
Sure.
But do you subtract one of those lighter, more agile bodies in favor of a middle line or an inside linebacker because you also see the special teams value there?
Yeah.
Is this player, if it's Caleb Johnson or if it's Yasir Abdullah, are they even going to be active on game day, since only 48 players can actually get a jersey on game day? And so, yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting philosophical question that I think comes down to special teams.
Me too.
But it's a good problem to have. Yeah. This is a good problem to have. We led the show with the negativity of, oh no, Dewey picked off Trevor twice. The offense looks clunky. The good news, we've got a logjam in the best way possible on the defensive roster.
Well, and it's funny because I feel like we have talked about special teams a decent amount because of the new kickoff rule. And I also think because the Jags have a really good special teams room when it comes to Logan Cook and what we're expecting from Walker Little and also Ross. But the fact when we're talking about this of what players defensively could possibly be keeping because of special teams, we've also talked about that in the wide receiver room. Is it going to be a Tim Jones because of the special teams? We also, I don't think we've talked about it enough, of the running back room, because a lot of teams are using their running backs in the new kick return too. So does that factor into what they're keeping in offensively? So the special teams, to me, I think this season more than a lot others recently, the special teams are affecting the roster in a bigger way, I think, than we have seen the last few years.
And I like that you brought that up as well, because in terms of running back usage, I saw Keelan Robinson making a couple different plays today, Lauren. I mean, he's on the field. He's on the field, catching passes out of the backfield from Trevor. And again, there's no depth chart right now. Ryan Nielsen reiterated that this morning. Trevor Lawrence said it yesterday. He's getting reps with everybody. But for someone who yesterday, when I asked Doug Peterson about injuries, and he's like, oh, he's, fighting this toe injury, they've had him out there a lot. So he has the opportunity to make that 53-man roster. He, of course, would offer return ability. Dearness Johnson offers that special teams value. Do you keep 4 running backs because of that? I agree. Maybe that's where they tap into it. But again, I don't know. I wish I knew with special teams and the way that it's changed in the last 4 months. And he's I think will be the first to tell you, he's still learning every day. So we don't have an answer as of right now.
Yeah, I told you yesterday, I saw Keelan Robinson with a couple drops today. I thought he looked much better. But speaking of special teams, and this has nothing to do with being able to kick the football, but Cam Little can juggle
Round
a
of applause,
football.
RJ, we
Can
need the
juggle
round
a
of applause.
football better than I've ever seen anyone juggle a football. I was so impressed with him today, and I couldn't get video because it was during the portion where we're not allowed to. And not that is why we're not allowed to, because the kicker's juggling. It wasn't that. Obviously, they don't want you to film any of the teamwork, but my goodness, that cat can juggle.
I thought you were going to talk about the 61-yarder that he nailed.
That also
we can round
is
of applause for
important.
both.
That's why, yeah. Like I said, it doesn't have anything to do with
definitely we want to see that also.
But he also is. I think he's going to win the job. I said that before we've seen him at practice, but yeah, he's got quite the leg.
I feel like we need a buzzer because I think I just said Walker Little instead of Cam Little. So RJ, anytime I say Walker instead of Cam, can you just
or there we go. Well done, RJ. Well done. Or even I replied to someone's tweet on Twitter, and they were discussing Walker Little, but they referred to him as Little. And I said, don't be surprised when it's Walker. And someone was like, why is she talking about Trayvon? And I was like, oh, God.
Oh, no, we're so confused.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Everybody,
we're going to have to use first, last names on a lot of these this year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, when we come back, Mia caught up with Trevis Gipson, what I'm going to call the third pass rusher on this defense. So we will hear that interview. We've got a lot to do today on Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Hey Jacksonville, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. If you are looking to grow your career, Chick-fil-A restaurants are hiring and looking for folks to join their team right now. Chick-fil-A Jacksonville area restaurants are offering flexible hours, scholarship opportunities, and leadership development, just to name a few. You can find a friendly work environment with competitive pay and have fun at work with opportunities to serve your community. With locations all around Jacksonville, apply online or in person today at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Arrested? Got traffic tickets? DUI? License problems, gun charges, drug charges? If you've been charged with any crime, call me, criminal defense attorney Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, poker players. The Card Player Poker Tour is heading back to Best Bet Jacksonville from August 15th to the 26th. The tournament schedule is packed with excitement, featuring 9 events, including the $1,700 No Limit Hold'em Mystery Bounty main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool. Head to bestbetjacks.com for the full schedule and satellite information. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The coolest thing going on right now is the summer fan sale with 3 ways to save at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Browse their huge selection of high-quality fans to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Buy 1 fan, save 10%. Buy 2, save 15%. Buy 3 or more and save 20% off summer pricing on all fans. Visit their showroom near the avenues while inventory is still available and discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Mortgage rates have plummeted, and Loan Pronto clients are locking in the lowest rates we've seen in years. Hey, it's Roger Moore, founder and CEO of Loan Pronto. It's happening. We are finally locking APRs in the 5s, something we haven't seen for a long time. If that sky-high rate is killing you or you need to get cash out of your home equity, now is the time to take action. Or listen, even if you want to keep that first mortgage rate intact, you can take advantage of lower rates with our Equity Express line of credit. We're seeing homeowners take 50, 75, 200 grand or more out of their equity and wiping out that high-interest debt with an average savings of $850 per month. Bottom line, your home value is way up and mortgage rates have come way down, making this a great time to act. Call today for a 30-second rate quote. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Calling all disc golf enthusiasts. Play It Again Sports Jacksonville wants your used discs. Now through June 29th, earn cash on the spot plus $5 in sports bucks for every $25 of disc golf gear we buy. Play It Again Sports also stocks new discs from your favorite brands like Innova, Discraft, Discmania, and more. Stop in today and shop our huge selection. Merrill Road near 295 in the Merrill Station Shopping Plaza or online at playitagainjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Kept classy by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
On 1010XL.
My mother told me. Me, O'Brien, Taylor Dollar, Day Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Training camp day 2 in the books for the Jaguars. And no fights, so that's good news. We talked about the Texans fight that happened at camp yesterday. The Chiefs also got into a skirmish. The Jags, though, smooth sailing. Maybe not for the offense, but overall.
It's also day 2, so let the tempers flare a little bit. And, you know, it's a couple days in the extreme heat, and maybe
I thought today was very comfortable. As far as
I did not, and our next
I was
guest.
like, I only walked to my car and then here, and I was hot.
Well, in comparison to yesterday, it was a little overcast. It was only probably like upper 80s, low 90s. Yesterday was, I thought, way hotter.
Our next guest would beg to differ with you, Lauren. Perfect segue, because it took him a solid, I think, like 10 minutes to get over to do the interview because he needed a second to wipe himself down, have a couple waters. He's still getting used to Duval heat. Here is Jaguars. Well, I'm not going to give him a position because I am at the beginning of this interview. Here's Trevis Gipson. Pleased to be joined with Jaguars pass rusher. I'm going to call you a pass rusher, Trevis. You like that? You like that?
I like that. I love it.
Jaguars pass rusher, Trevis Gipson, entering his first year here in Duval. I won't bury the lead, Trevis. You just told me you ain't used to this heat yet.
Man, look, I'm trying to get used to it. It's different from the places I've been, but, you know, the humidity is high, the heat is high, but, you know, one positive thing that I love about this is I know, you know, these conditions is going to carry us through the season, so I can't shy away from it at all.
You've spoken spoken so far since your arrival here about how you almost came here a year ago. There have been a couple moments where you almost came to Jacksonville before. Why was this year the right time for you to reunite with Bill Shuey and be here in Jacksonville?
You know, God brought the opportunity to me again, and, you know, he just laid it on my heart. I had deep thoughts about it last year, but didn't pull the trigger. And, you know, now it's just the opportunity. It's a great opportunity to work with Bill Shuey again, a great opportunity to learn under Ryan Nielsen, and an outstanding opportunity to be able to play with Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead, and plenty more guys.
I know when we spoke with Coach Shuey back in June, he said, you view this as a competition. You know you're competing for a spot. What is that like to know that you have to earn every single day that spot on the 53?
You know, it's normal. It's normal. Every day is a fight. Every day is competition. You know, you compete with yourself every day. So it's nothing that I'm not used to. I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm just trying to make myself as good as I can be, and wherever the chips fall, they fall.
You've played with Khalil Mack. You've played with Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry. Where does that guy, 41, standing over there, or the other guy, 44, standing right there, where do those two guys rank?
You know, I'm going to be honest, they're at the top. They're at the top. They're young guys. You know, they're real cool, real professional. You know, it's nothing more that I could ask from those guys. We all share tips and tendencies. We all push each other, and the details that they drive into their everyday lifestyle, man, it's outstanding. It's amazing.
Trayvon in particular, it feels like it's been 1 year. It was, 3 sacks his rookie year where he was really learning the outside linebacker position. Last year, 10 sacks. How have you seen, even just speaking with people who were here last year, how have you seen him take it to a different level so far this offseason and through 2 days of camp?
You know, I'm going to be honest. I met Trayvon Walker 3 seasons ago. We had the same defensive line trainer, and man, as soon as I met him, cool guy, down to earth. You know, we had great conversation during our training session, and you know, just to see his growth is outstanding. See the way that he walks, he talks, the way he carries himself, the way he comes to work every day. It's man, the sky is the limit. The stars is the limit for him. It's outstanding. It's crazy.
Why did you want to be a part of Ryan Nielsen's defense in particular?
You know, Ryan Nielsen, he's an outstanding coach, man. He's created Hall of Famers. He's coached Hall of Famers. And, you know, even within the first 2 weeks that I've got here, man, he taught me so much that I haven't learned in the last 4 years of my career. And it's tremendous, man. I couldn't ask for anything more. So, you know, to make the decision to come here, you know, I've seen the way his defenses play at Atlanta and the Saints, and, man, he lets his D-line go and turn it loose. And, you know, as a pass rusher, what more could I ask for?
Trevis, one thing that I noted in my report after yesterday's practice, you're vocal out there. Oh, yeah. You're not shy. You're coaching guys up. You're pointing out positions. You're hyping guys up. Oh, yeah. Has that always been your approach, or has that been a leadership role you've kind of grown into in your time in the league?
You know, I'm going to be honest. It was always my approach. You know, being transparent. About my 3rd and 4th year, I did get away from it a little bit. I stepped out of my shell a little bit, but, you know, now being back here, and I don't know if it's being with Shuey, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just, I'm getting back to my normal self, man. I'm getting back to being talkative, having energy, and just a ticking time bomb, man. Ticking time bomb. Yeah, that's the only word that I can say for it, man. It's fun being out there, and the energy is just, it's outstanding to be able to share it.
Why is it a ticking time bomb?
You know, it's been time. You know, last year I didn't have the best year. The year before that I didn't have a best year. So eventually it's going to turn over, and I believe and I know it will be this year.
Before we let you go, Trevis, people of Duval, let us know a little bit about you. What are your hobbies, your interests? What's been the most fun thing you've done since you've arrived in Jacksonville?
Most fun thing that I've done since I've gotten in Jacksonville is probably stay out of the sun. That's one. I haven't been able to check out the beaches yet.
Oh, okay.
But I like to travel. You know, I like to relax. I got a son on the way. On the way during October, so Duval will be able to give me some congrats and tips on that. And, you know, I'm a real chill guy, man. I like to joke, have fun, but I like to work hard, man. You know, you get one life, so I don't look at things as negative. You know, I know it's people that, you know, isn't as fortunate, didn't get to wake up this morning, so it's absolutely nothing that I can be mad at, honestly.
Well, we're excited to have you in Duval, Trevis.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, ma'am.
It's funny because I also got to meet the 2 new members of the Jaguars PR staff. I met them yesterday, but today I got to actually speak to both Emily and Claire a little bit more. And they both said the reason they moved here was the beach. And then I talked to Trevis Gipson and get to go one-on-one with him for the first time. And he's like, haven't gotten to the beach yet. The heat, I'm trying to stay away from it. But hey, he's happy to be here. Yeah. Clearly happy to be reunited with Bill Shuey. And it's so funny because I want to pair this with, and RJ, maybe we can pull up the sound. I don't exactly know what number it is, but I'll check it. What Ryan Nielsen said this morning when he referred to how the defense, I don't want to use the term polices themselves, but that the high character guys that have been brought into this building hold each other accountable. And Trevis Gipson, as we spoke yesterday on the program about Taylor, and you know firsthand from his time in Chicago, that's who he is. Yeah. He just said it. He was that guy in Chicago. He was that guy in high school. Yeah. And so this is just who he is, that it doesn't matter that he's the new guy on the roster on the street. He's still going to say, hey, we're supposed to be doing this, and you're not holding up your end of the bargain.
Yeah, and I think one of the things, too, number one, when we go back to the beach, I like how he also... And
yes, let's start with the beach. Go ahead.
One of the things that stuck out to me, and I never thought about this until one of my friends from up north were visiting, but he said beaches, and my friend that was visiting was like, why do you guys say beaches and not just beach? And I was like, well, because we have multiple and a small, it's like Neptune Beach, Atlantic Beach, Jack's Beach, Ponte Vedra Beach. And I was like, so there's a ton, so we say beaches. So it's always funny. To me, I heard him say beaches, and that automatically stuck out because he wasn't just like, I haven't been to the beach. He said, I haven't been to the beaches yet. And I was like, oh, he's already in with the lingo of Jacksonville. But yeah, I think one of the underrated things I think is his being back with Bill Shuey. And when I go back to the time that Bill Shuey was in Chicago, what he was able to do with our pass rush, because the first year he was just kind of like a defensive quality guy, quality control type of guy. The next year he was a pass rush analyst, and the Bears between 2020 and 2021, Trevis's rookie and sophomore season, almost doubled their sack numbers within that season. And, oh, by the way, that's when Khalil Mack actually got traded. So that season when he was able to take the Bears to that next level, it was without Khalil Mack. And Trevis Gipson, that was the year he got the 7 sacks. So I'm sure Trevis is really excited to get back with Bill Shuey, and I know he mentioned it in this interview, but I do think that's an underrated thing of what we saw last year with the pass rush too. You give him 2 seasons, and he is so good when it comes to creating the pressures in general, but also making those pressures actually turn into sacks, which what we talked a lot about the last couple, 2 seasons ago of they're getting there, they're getting the pressures, they're surrounding the quarterback, they just weren't able to get the quarterback down. And last year we saw that kind of transform into the actual sack numbers, and that is just what I think Bill Shuey is a genius with. And I think now with this whole other level of Eric Armstead creating interior pass rush, but also thinking we're going to also see Eric Armstead on the outside, and then Trevis a little bit of everywhere, just being a pass rusher.
And I know he's been limited just because he's coming off that foot injury he suffered in June. But Roy Robertson-Harris, Trevis Gipson were a part of that Bears defense you're alluding to, Taylor, and remind the folks at home, what was their base defense?
Yeah, they were a 4-3 at that time. Yeah. And that's when they switched it the next year is when everything shot down too. So Trevis excels in that defense.
I think too it's
great.
Roy. Yeah, that's great that Trevis gets to be in the same room as Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker too, because they go about their jobs very differently as far as their techniques. Mm-hmm. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon are completely different as far as pass rushing techniques go.
I do want to say, by the way, congratulations to Roy Robertson-Harris, because he was announced as one of the owners of the Jacksonville Icemen. So joining Tebow, Daniel Murphy, and Miles Jack, those 4 of the athletes kind of a part of that now.
Yeah, I got to, I quick texted, of course, Clint, his agent, who's one of our buddies here on Helmets and Heels, and I let him know, and he said, yeah, this is a big deal. So very excited for Roy. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him yet, just because where we do interviews now after training camp is in the indoor part of the Miller Electric Center, so the players come in ahead of us, and then we go over to the side. But yeah, massive news. And of course, he and his family built a new house here. So definitely Duval for the long haul for them.
We'll be seeing a Roy bobblehead soon.
Yeah.
Those giant bobbleheads.
I love that. When we return, Taylor had a dream about college football. We will get to that next. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Florida Gators and Jacksonville Jaguars living under the same radio roof. 1010XL, flagship station of the Gators and Jaguars.
It's time to fire up your grills, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our independent sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our independent sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino, though, is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your home. The live casino is so easy to use, folks. I just go to mybookie.ag and click Live Casino, third from the left on the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. Yes, I said live dealers. The MyBookie Casino provides a Vegas experience where the action is in your hands. And yes, the rumors are true. You don't have to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL and a revamped loyalty program ensuring a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
Prosser here. As you may or may not know by now, I did the research and decided to go with Jack's Concrete Coatings for my garage floor. OMG, as the kids would say. I can't begin to tell you how good it looks, how happy we are. We brag on it anytime someone walks in the garage. They had the job finished in one day with a lifetime warranty. That's right. As the certified Pintech dealer for North Florida, the only company offering pure polyurea, I can't wait to do my patio deck next. Call 862-2000. That's the number, 862-2000, or jacksconcretecoatings.com.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest that you're Cabana side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 25th, 1956, Pittsburgh Pirates' Roberto Clemente hits MLB's first and only walk-off inside the park grand slam for a 9-8 win over the Chicago Cubs.
The 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris feature incredible athletes and is the third time the Olympics will be held in Paris. If you're planning to attend, USAPark.net Airport Parking salutes your support of our American athletes. So no matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
If the Florida heat is getting you down and you're sweating up a storm, fire up a phone call to Florida Home AC and order an AC tune-up. It's the best way to beat the heat and keep your AC unit working at peak performance. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com for their tune-up special and make sure you're primed for the peak of that heat. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just a phone call away at 777-4300. Order that tune-up today.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
International soccer returns this summer. Don't miss Premier League clubs Wolves and West Ham in Jacksonville for the Stateside Cup, July 27th at Everbank Stadium. Tickets as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
Hi, I'm David Lane, your average everyday Joe. I'm
5 months out of my back surgery with Southeast Orthopedic, and I'm doing great. Thanks to Dr. Herford and his staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Before we shift things over to the college football ranks, did want to update you NFL fans out there, especially because I know you exist here in Duval County. Those Steeler fans that were concerned or perhaps excited. I know Taylor Dahl was excited to see that Justin Fields was taking first-team reps. Mike Tomlin did tell reporters about 15 minutes ago that Russell Wilson woke up with a calf issue. He is considered day to day.
Are they on like day 2 of camp?
Yes, day 2 of camp. Woke up with a calf issue. I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
I think that's called getting old. I know I woke up and it wasn't a calf issue, but it was definitely soreness, and I wasn't even playing yesterday. So, and I'm a little bit younger than Russell Wilson. So
you were sore from standing there?
Well, I also did yoga last night, and I ran the day before.
Okay.
So I think it was like a combination.
I was going to say, I wouldn't think that.
No, I did yoga last night. I ran too. So I think it's just a lot of that coming. But it's called getting old, Russ. It's called getting old. Which, hey, good for Justin Fields. You know what? At some point or another,
when you get the look, the clips I was seeing, because it's one thing that he's never struggled with is his deep ball, and that's the videos I was seeing, and they were just perfection. And people were like, "Oh, look, Justin Fields' deep ball is like that's never been the issue. Like it's other things. It's the short passes, it's the intermediate passes that he struggles with. So get him some practice with those, and then see."
Justin Fields is the Pittsburgh Steelers starter, blank Taylor Dahl.
Yeah, I think I want to say when we said this earlier, I said by like week 6.
Week 6. Lauren Brooks.
I think it's like 3 or 4.
Week 3 or 4?
Yeah, I don't think Russell Wilson's very good.
I think Russell Wilson's going to like get hurt, and
then it kind of
and then he'll come back. They'll be day to day, and then ultimately, I think like week 10. Week 10 is
he'll
where
officially take
they're
over.
just like, you know what? We're making a playoff push.
Yeah.
It's Mike Tomlin. He's never had a losing record. That streak's in jeopardy. Let's throw Fields out there and see what we got.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying I think Fields is the world's greatest quarterback, but I think he's better than Russell Wilson. And
at this stage.
At this point in time.
Yeah, obviously Fields has not won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson has, and probably should have had two Super Bowls, but that's neither here nor there. All right, Taylor, tell us about your dream about college football.
Yeah, so first of all, I don't know why I was dreaming about this. I'm thinking maybe it's because it was ACC Media Days this week, so there was a lot of ACC content going out because I couldn't care less about either of these teams, honestly. But in my dream, Florida State and Miami were playing in the ACC championship, which I don't think many people would be surprised about that part. I know it's pretty much like Florida State, Clemson, and Miami are the 3 that are getting talked about the most. But yeah, so it was a very vivid, in-depth, like I woke up and was like, that was weird. I felt like I was just at a football game. Like I was like excited and I was like screaming. But
Have you been playing the Madden game?
I haven't even played it
Madden,
yet.
but the EA.
EA. But yeah, so I had a dream that Miami beat Florida State in the ACC championship 34-23. In my dream, Cam Ward had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, also rushed for a touchdown. Like, that's how vivid my dream was when I woke up. Like, I could remember everything.
Someone better be writing this down, by the way. If it happens, I know the Canes fans out there, they're rejoicing.
I tweeted it just so I have document in case something crazy happens, because a lot of people, of course, Florida State fans are like, yeah, it only in dreams is Miami winning the ACC championship. And then some people are like, this sounds like a nightmare. And I was like, or it's a premonition. We will see. But, yeah, it was wild because, I mean, and I have pretty vivid dreams already, but usually after like 10, 15 minutes after I wake up, I don't remember as much. But this one, I was like standing there getting ready, and I could like see the scoreboard in my head, and it like popped up, and it was like Cam Ward, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and it was like ACC champions, and I'm like, oh.
Well, it's like in Field of Dreams when he sees up on the. I know that was in real life.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dream that he saw it up on the scoreboard at Fenway Park.
Oh, yes.
This is Taylor Dahl seeing into the future. Go the distance, Taylor. That is what the Canes fans are telling you.
If you build it, they will come.
It should be noted on cue, Lauren. Both sportsbetting.ag and BetOnline.ag have Mario Cristobal with the 3rd best odds of any FBS coach to be fired first this season.
Which is interesting because when we looked at this, recently Sam Pittman had the highest odds, and then it was Billy Napier, and then Cristobal, but that has been reversed. So now Billy Napier has the best odds to be as the first coach to be fired, then Sam Pittman. But I mean, we all know that those three coaches are on the hot seat, whether you want to say the hottest of seats, somewhat hot of a seat, either way. We all know that if they don't have successful seasons, they might not be at those jobs moving forward. And so, but we're focusing on Miami certainly. And Mario Cristobal was asked, speaking of his quarterback with the 300 yards in the dream, what he likes about Cam Ward.
What really stands out in the short time we've been around him is he's an alpha leader. Okay, and on the way in, when we were watching him on film, it was obvious to the entire country that, and the reason everybody wanted him was his playmaking ability, right? Really accurate, great arm strength, ability to improvise, extend plays, a game changer. But what impressed us the most was whenever there was a bad play, his ability to bounce back and make things right.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah. Because I think that when we talk about, especially in college football, when you're talking about the quarterbacks who have the tools and have the athleticism and can throw the ball and can run the ball and do all of these things, the biggest red flag are the ones that can't overcome mistakes. Because in college football, mistakes are going to happen. You know, we see all of these things that even some of the best come back and have these moments where you're like, okay, that game was not at all what you expected. There's multiple turnovers, or they fumble the ball, or in the red zone, they end up turning it over, situations like that. And for him to be able to kind of stay calm in those situations, I think is really important. And especially, you obviously don't ever want to turn over the ball, but in critical situations is where he was able to avoid that. And I think also like the duality of what he can do, you are expecting them to be able to throw the ball a lot, but I also think they are going to be counting on their run game a lot this season, which will benefit Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, for those of you keeping score at home, 6'2", 223 pounds. Last year at Wazoo, he had 25 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. That was a better ratio than his first year on the Palouse, in which he threw for 23 touchdowns, ran for 5 more, and had 9 interceptions. On cue, the Florida State fans, the Florida State Hooligans on the text line designed by Lifetime
Someone asked
Enclosures.
what I was smoking. I was not smoking anything before I fell asleep.
Taylor was not smoking, and 722 up in Georgia says, and that's part of why I just ran through Cam Ward's measurables. Y'all remember when De'Aaron King transferred to Miami, and that was supposed to be amazing. That is my prediction for Cam Ward. Different regime. Manny Diaz was the head coach, which, by the way, was weird being at Duke and seeing Manny Diaz's face plastered everywhere a few weeks ago. So different regime, different offensive scheme. And yes.
Didn't he get injured too?
He got it. Well, that's the thing. He got injured in the first game of the season.
Yeah.
We're not wishing that for Cam Ward.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a similar skill set to be had. I think Cam's bigger than De'Aaron King. And does that durability translate? Is that because of what Josh Allen has been able to do in the National Football League, because of what Anthony Richardson will eventually, hopefully, be able to do, except for when he plays the Jags? Is that the mold that now that is Cam Newton, even though we saw how his career did not have the longevity that many people hoped that it would? Lamar Jackson, if anything, didn't run as much last year.
Yeah.
And so will we see that dual threat quarterback because he's 6'2", 223 and so physically imposing in Miami? Or does Cam Ward become more of a passer because he has more options at the wide receiver position at Miami than he did at Wazoo?
Well, one of the things that he talked about in an interview recently was that growing up, he watched a ton of Cam Newton and Michael Vick. Those were the guys that he kind of modeled his game after. But he said the last few seasons, he started watching Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. So you can tell he is kind of also, he's probably seeing some of these guys who, in the longevity of their careers, when they are kind of having to lean on that run side of their game. And so maybe he's trying to shift that a little bit. Obviously, we know Patrick Mahomes doesn't rely on that. He can if he needs to. Same with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was that guy where if you let him, he will run 15, 20 yards on you, but he doesn't have to because he has the arm that is able to kind of take advantage of all the weaknesses of the defense. So it seems like he's trying to stray away from that a little bit. So it'll be interesting.
More of a pocket passer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they really kind of line up when it comes time for their offense this year.
To me, the fascinating storyline with Miami, yes, Cam Ward has been able to take the attention off of what they went through last year, and that is they had such a hot start, and then Mario Cristobal makes the incorrect decision to run the football late in the game against Georgia Tech. They end up losing, and then they ended up losing a lot after that. And so even players, the offensive lineman Jalen Rivers talked about it this week, that last season was a nightmare. That even after that Georgia Tech game, week in and week out, they'd wake up and realize that they had basically thrown their season away. And so I think because of the window dressing,
when you were
Cam
1 second
Ward,
away from winning, like
right,
that has to be an awful feeling.
Exactly. And so because of the additions of Cam Ward and Damian Martinez, the running back, people have focused way more on that, I think, than they've focused on that in-game coaching error that Cristobal made. Of course, fans still feel that pain, but I do think that the media has been able to shift their focus, whereas, of course, in Gainesville, the focus is still, when it comes to Billy Napier, on the in-game coaching issues that he had, because they have DJ Lagway as a freshman, but they don't have this shiny new toy as far as quarterback's concerned.
They have mashed potatoes.
Yes. That's our new thing. We're comparing college quarterbacks to barbecue side dishes, which, speaking of, another one of the Knowles has sounded off. From an athletic standpoint, I think DJ Uiagalelei at Florida State is more Anthony Richardson and Cam Newton than Cam Ward at Miami. So I did pull up the 40-yard dash times. Not that that is any indication of, elite athleticism. DJ Uiagalelei ran a 40 earlier this year in 4.87 seconds. Now, again, I don't know if this 247 report is accurate. He could have shaved some more pounds, but I feel like, if anything, like DJU is more of a pure pocket passer. He's not as mobile of a quarterback. And especially as he's now entering his sixth year in college. If anything, I feel like he was more mobile at Clemson, and perhaps during his time out at Oregon State, that was where he was told, no, you need to sit in the pocket a little bit more.
Yeah, stop scrambling so much. And I think that, I don't know, I'm not super confident DJ will be the quarterback by the end of the Florida State season, honestly. So that one is interesting to me. I do think, barring injury, Cam Ward is going to be there from day one to the final game. I'm not confident that DJ Uiagalelei will be, to be honest.
The most he's rushed for DJ, this was at Clemson 2 years ago. He rushed for 545 yards and 7 touchdowns. Then last season.
In how many games?
In the full season of games.
So 12 or 14.
13
there you go.
At Clemson. And then last year at Oregon State, in 12 games, he rushed for only 219 yards, but did have 6 rushing touchdowns. So it seems to me, in watching him too, that that's not their best option, is to have him run the football. But when it comes to the red zone, he might be a better option as far as that's concerned.
Again, one report that I'm seeing from Draft Scout says that DJ Uiagalelei, a 4.87 40-yard dash. Cam Ward, a 4.58.
There you go. All right, so we've talked a lot about Cam Ward. What does he think as far as the pressure of being the Canes QB?
It's not really pressure at all. I mean, we got to show up and play each and every Saturday. We can't take no team too lightly. Whether we playing the best team in the country or the worst team in the country, we got to show up and be that team each and every Saturday. And, we're going to let the rest take care of itself.
I feel like we've talked a ton about expectations this offseason because of the Jaguars, because of the Gators, because of the Knowles. And then obviously Miami's, Georgia and Alabama, all of these teams, of what their expectations are and how likely they are to meet those expectations. Where do you realistically think Miami fans, are they saying ACC championship or bust, do you think?
I don't know if it's as exact as or bust, but I think they certainly have high hopes of an ACC championship. I have friends that are Miami fans, Miami grads, and they'll tell you the first half of their season is always trending towards that direction of, hey, we might be one of the best teams in the ACC. And then the latter half of the season, the wheels come off. And so I don't think that it's necessarily they're at the same level as FSU that, yes, they expect to win it. But I do think they would like at least 9 wins this season, maybe double digits.
Taylor, we laughed when our good friend Myles Garrett of Fox 5 Atlanta said to us that Georgia Tech was his sneaky top 3 finisher in the ACC for this upcoming season. But the reality is, who else is there?
Yeah.
UNC loses Drake May. They're going to take a step back. And that's after 2 years ago losing so much talent at the wide receiver and running back position to the draft. Clemson, Cade Klubnik.
Yeah.
Bueller.
But he is a returning starter.
He's a returning starter, but he certainly did not live up to expectations a year ago. Could he develop? Absolutely. But I'm curious and will reserve judgment on that until he does.
Yeah, if Clemson, by the way, had done better in the transfer portal,
as in
participated in the transfer portal, I probably would have had Clemson winning the ACC.
Yeah.
But I think it's Florida State because of how good Norvell is in the transfer portal.
Duke, first-year coach. NC State, Virginia, Wake Forest, stuck in the minutia of middle and quarterback play. Boston College, we had A.J. Black from 247 Sports on, and he's probably right when he says that with Bill O'Brien at the helm now and Thomas Castellanos, one of the more electrifying returning starters.
Like more competitive, at least.
I would put, in terms of sheer watching, and again, maybe this is just, the eye test, which the eye test doesn't matter. When Judge Dunn dubs, you're based on your play on the field. But I found Thomas Castellanos much more captivating to watch and much more efficient at moving the ball up and down the field than I did Cade Klubnik and Clemson last year. At times at Clemson, it felt like they were stuck in the mud. And so with Pitt, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, and the newcomers, Cal, Stanford, SMU, and sorry, Louisville, I forgot about you and your anemic quarterback play. With those teams that I just listed off, yes, Miami fans are expecting to finish in the top 5 minimum in the ACC, just like Florida State fans. I would say Florida State fans, even with a new quarterback, take that to another level. It needs to be double-digit wins, and I don't think Miami fans are far behind.
Yeah, I think the two teams that expect to be in the ACC championship 100% are FSU and Clemson. Clemson fans haven't wanted to give up the fact that they've been an elite program for so long now.
I would like to put a asterisk on my previous statement. I don't know if we have a special sound effect, a breaking news sound effect. Sorry, 476, our resident NC State fan. Do your research. Yes, Grayson McCall is now the starter at NC State. The same Grayson McCall who was supposed to transfer to Florida. I'm not going to speak on someone's academic eligibility and what I was told when he was attempting to transfer to Florida. He was a great quarterback at Coastal Carolina. Curious to see what happens there. Fine, there you go. Fifth-year senior, more experience than any quarterback in the ACC. Will that carry a roster that I don't think is in the same category as Florida State? Personally, no, but prove me wrong.
There you have it. All right, when we return, Mia's got her midweek My Bookie picks. Also, we will rank the top 10 wide receivers in the AFC South. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's strange. The code is somehow different.
LX1010.
Encrypted? Maybe.
Is that good for us or bad for us?
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. You already know I love getting shrimp at Mayport CNC Fisheries, but last weekend I got the spicy fish dip and mild fish dip, and I'm now obsessed. They make it in-house. And to all restaurant owners, Mayport CNC Fisheries is your wholesale seafood go-to. Eat and sell like a local and enjoy fresh seafood tonight from Mayport CNC Fisheries.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a paint color namer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Irving Stapler.
Hi, Howie.
So the next round is word association. I'll say a word and you give me the first word you think of. Engagement ring.
Jeweler.
Gas station.
Fueler.
Aaron Burr.
Dueler.
Air conditioning.
Wow. Jeez. That's a toughie.
Come on, Irv. The sponsor's gonna kill me now.
Oh, Bueller.
That's right, Irv. If your AC is struggling through the summer heat, the first name you should think of for fast, friendly, 5-star service is Bueller Air and Plumbing. The name to know to make sure you are cool.
Have a beer, Irv.
Cooler.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
The hottest trend in casual dining has expanded in Jacksonville with its 5th location off 103rd. The Flame Broiler serves up protein-packed rice bowls. It's fast, healthy, and affordable. Order online at flamebroilerusa.com or visit any of our 5 locations. Flame Broiler, simply healthy.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in at my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jaguar friends, I'm Donovan Darius, former 10-year NFL strong safety for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm hosting my free Tackling Technique Jaguars camp for kids ages 10 to 14 on July the 27th. This Jaguar camp will have some of my former Jaguar teammates out there coaching the kids on all the fundamentals that it takes to be a great tackler. To get involved, just go to DariusNextLevelTraining.com to sign up your kids ages 10 to 14. If you'd like to sponsor, you can go to the same website, DariusNextLevelTraining.com.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Get your first look at the team inside Everbank Stadium during our 2024 stadium practice Saturday, August 3rd. The season is almost here. Don't miss your chance to see the players up close before they take the field this fall. Stadium practice is free to attend, and seats are going fast, so register for tickets at jaguars.com/training camp. We can't wait to see you there.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gipson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by JEA. The Miami Hurricanes have a potential star at quarterback in Cam Ward. Ward spoke on Wednesday at the ACC kickoff about his decision to go to Miami over the NFL.
That's probably one of the most stressful times of my life, me, my dad, and my mom. Every day for me, my decision changed. I went into my parents' room. I told them one day I was going to this school. Next day I was going to the league. Next day I was going to Miami. So, if I had to do it all over again, I would. But I feel like the biggest thing for me was there was still food left on the table for me.
Quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes, Cam Ward, at the ACC kickoff. It's 91 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Rain makes corn, corn makes
This is Helmets and Heels.
Kept classy by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
On 1010XL.
Are we playing the song by Luke Bryan because it's about to storm here at 1010XL headquarters, probably throughout Jacksonville?
I said great job, RJ, off air. I probably should have said great job, Max, who's sitting in shadowing RJ today and currently on the board. Well done, boys. Well done.
Yes. Hope everybody, if you are anywhere near whatever this storm is, I don't know the area. I haven't looked at the radar.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be hovering around for a while.
Absolutely. All right. Mia's My Bookie picks come your way now.
Now, Mia's midday My Bookie picks. Experience the Vegas thrill from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere, only with My Bookie.
So, we've been so pumped about training camp here in Duval this past week and across the National Football League that I don't want to forget the Olympics opening ceremonies begin tomorrow. Thank you, Max. Out in Paris, let us run through some of the odds, shall we? We begin with a sport we talk about a good amount of time here on Helmets and Heels, that being men's golf. The defending gold medalist Xander Schauffele with the second best odds at plus 560, no surprise. Scotty Scheffler the best odds at plus 350. Interestingly enough, Rory McIlroy, the third best odds at plus 730, and Ludwig Oberg, after that tough showing at the Open Championship, the fourth best odds at plus 1100. Personally, I'm going with Xander. I have concerns about Scotty Scheffler. Grabbed his back on that 18th tee box at the Open Championship. Not sure he's fully healthy. So give me Xander at plus 560. This was shocking to me, and I have not been as in the weeds on the swimming front as I have in years past, ladies. Caleb Dressel, the pride of Green Cove Springs. Second best odds to win the 50-meter freestyle at plus 224. Cameron McAvoy, minus 123. I'm going to say Dressel all the way. I'm also going to flip on over to the backstroke in the 100-meter men's event. Ryan Murphy, Jacksonville's own, noted Jaguar fan, the best odds at plus 161. Still on the plus side of things, which is a little bit surprising considering he has won the gold before. And in the women's side, y'all know I'm a huge, and if you didn't, now you do, huge Ledecky fan. Huge Katie Ledecky fan. They call her Kathleen Ledecky on mybookie.ag. Don't be alarmed. It is the same swimmer. I understand that the Aussies have this pair of prodigies in the pool. I understand that. But I am still taking Katie Ledecky in plus 400 in the 400-meter freestyle. She's literally minus 1,313 to win the 2,000-meter freestyle, or rather, no. So this actually just changed since I was looking at this 5 minutes ago. To win the 1,500-meter freestyle, Ledecky is minus 3,030. But yet, she's the fourth best odds in the 400. Give me Ledecky for the sweep. We coming for the all-time record, Michael Phelps. Look out. Already there. Give me Ledecky or give me death. Those are just a few of the odds that you can play for this summer's Olympic Games by heading on over to mybookie.ag. Once you log in, go to the featured tab on the left, and you will see Olympics. That's where you can press the drop-down menu, and you can select the sport of your choice. I'm assuming you ladies, especially you, Lauren, knowing how much you love gymnastics, you want to probably see those odds, right?
Sure.
All right.
I just saw a picture of Snoop Dogg with Leanne Wong, who, of course, is on the Florida gymnastics team. Also, she's an alternate for the USA Olympics roster. Do 19, 20-year-olds know who Snoop Dogg is?
Well, apparently he's going to be at the torch. He's a torchbearer. I think they do, just because they hear
Maybe
Snoop
we'll get
Dogg.
some play-by-play.
That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Why am I not seeing that? They must have pulled gymnastics from
I'm
here.
sure it's Simone Biles across the
Yeah,
board.
exactly. Just like basketball. I mean, let's be real. The USA is an overarching favorite to win. But yeah, there's archery, artistic swimming, badminton, beach volleyball, basketball 3x3 as well, canoe, kayaking, so many fun events that will be at the Summer Games.
Breakdancing.
Yeah, are there odds for breakdancing?
I do not see the odds for breakdancing, no, which is unfortunate because I know Jeff Prosser would absolutely love it. I do see the odds for Taekwondo. So if you want to place your odds there, be sure to head on over to mybookie.ag and get in on the fun.
I love it. All right. Are y'all ready to rank your wide receivers in the AFC South?
Let's do it.
All right. Taylor, I'll start with you. Who's your 10th guy?
My worst guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's still top 10 in the AFC South, so
Well,
that's
my
terrible.
bottom at the 10.
Because you figure you have a top 3 wide receiver. right, for each team. So 3 times 4.
We could have just gone through, but that I feel like would have got messy because we also don't know everybody who's making all of the teams yet. So I figured if we kept 10, those 10 are going to be playing this season no matter what.
Yeah.
So my number 10, I honestly was avoiding putting rookies on here.
Okay.
Because we haven't seen them yet. But because of my high hopes and because of the role I think he will have on the offense, my number 10 is Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, I can understand that. Mia?
Same.
Oh, look
yes,
at that.
actually same. Literally same. I thought about putting another rookie here, but
AD.
Yeah, that's who I have.
Oh, is it?
I have AD Mitchell.
I went back and forth, but I put BTJ.
Ultimately, I'm curious to see because I think AD Mitchell truly akin to the Florida Gators, who I believe either start the season 5-0 or start the season 1-4. AD Mitchell can, in my book, only go one of 2 ways.
Mm-hmm.
Either this is going to work out great, or those rumors we heard about undisciplined, not taking his medicine.
And we'll see that quickly.
Right. Yeah. We will know instantly. Yeah. And we also will know instantly whether or not Shane Steichen is able to incorporate him into that offense that so heavily relied on Josh Downs in the slot last year.
All right, number 9.
So your 10 is AD.
Yeah, I've got AD Mitchell. You guys have Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes. So
I'm going to have BTJ higher than that.
Yes. So my number 9 is Tyler Boyd. I think that Tyler Boyd has been one of the receivers who has been never absolutely phenomenal, but he's also been a wide receiver 3 behind Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So he's been just truly that full-on number 3 wide receiver in addition to the tight ends they've had too. But he's always been consistent. He's always had multiple touchdowns. He's always been in that 6, 7, 800-yard range. He's been able to – he doesn't drop a lot of passes. He has 70-plus catch percentage. So he's always that guy that's reliable. But just because he's never hit that 900,000 mark to me, he's a little lower, but he's still 9 on my list.
Mia?
I'm actually going to call upon an old friend. I'm going to put Calvin Ridley.
I have him too.
At number 9.
Yep.
As much as we have maligned him in this town since his departure, the man did have 1,000 yards last year, over 1,000 yards, after missing almost 2 years of football. And I don't know if it's going to work out in Tennessee. I don't know if Will Levis is the guy up in Nash Vegas. But I do know that without really being in the weeds of a playbook, Calvin Ridley had 1,000 yards last year. So give me him at number 9.
Yeah, I was debating whether he would even make my top 10 just because, of all the issues, even though he did, like you said, have over 1,000 yards. But now he's going to a different system. He had trouble in this system. Now he has to learn another system. He's going to a situation where the quarterback isn't stellar, in my opinion. And so that does, I think, hurt a receiver. All right, Taylor, your 8th guy.
So my number 8 is Tank Dell.
Okay.
For Tank, I think that when you were talking about the Houston offense and what they were able to do last season, it was really fun to watch. I think that Tank, I still need to probably see a little bit more and see what he looks like now with a Stephon Diggs added to this offense, obviously. But 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. He was one of those guys that he wasn't the guy, but he was somebody that in Houston, CJ Stroud was really able to use, and especially in certain important situations. I feel like there were a lot of moments where Tank was that guy. He also was an actual tank in certain situations also, where you're like, he was just running over guys, and it's kind of fun to see that type of wide receiver too. So yeah, I have him behind that.
I have him at 8 as well. We've been matching a lot here. Mia, who you have at 8?
I have Josh Downs at number 8. I mentioned how great his rookie campaign with the Indianapolis Colts was. I think a big part of his 68-catch, 771-yard campaign was the fact that Gardner Minshew was the quarterback. Gardner Minshew, of course, loves a good tight end, loves a good slot receiver. I'm curious with this offense now being shifted and curtailed to Anthony Richardson's skill set, if that will translate to more opportunities for Downs, or is he simply a safety valve?
All right. Who you have 7?
My next is Calvin.
Okay.
So I have been very vocal about I did not love Calvin Ridley here in Jacksonville, but as you mentioned, he still broke 1,000 yards, and that was with not knowing where he was a lot of the time. I do think that, yes, a new offense, but he also has now been playing for a year. Previous to being here, he hadn't touched a football or been or maybe probably touched a football, but in an NFL game, almost 2 years hadn't. So I do think there was some growing pains in that. I also do think we talk about the newness of just trying to get over some of the learning curves of a new offense. So I do think it'll be there a little bit, but I do think a year under his belt, not saying he's going to have like a 1,500 yard season. I don't think that. But I do still think we'll be able to see 1,000 yard Calvin Ridley, maybe a little over.
The guy I have 7th, Mia, I wonder if he'll even be on your list, DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, he's on my list.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
higher than that.
Okay, I have him because he's aging, and I already talked about the quarterback situation there in Tennessee. I've got him at 7th.
I have Gabe Davis at 7. Want to light a fire, give him something to prove.
Yeah.
First year in this division.
I have Gabe at 7.
Yeah, I have him at 7, and I think that honestly part of why I have him at 7 is because he's not going to be the number 1 option. But we saw 2 years ago when Zay Jones was fully healthy and was the number 2 option, and he came close to 1,000 yards. It'll be curious to see if Gabe is able to do that in his first year in Duval.
Yeah, so Gabe is my 6 because Calvin was 7. So Gabe is 6 for me. But yeah, same reasons. I think that I've mentioned a lot of the numbers of what Gabe's good at, and those red zone targets are what I think is going to massively help this offense because I just feel like we haven't truly had that at least healthy. That's what we wanted Zay to be. And Zay was just never quite able to stay on the field long enough to be that consistently. And I think that Gabe Davis can. So yeah, he's 6 for me.
All right. Mia, who got 6?
At number 6, I have Michael Pittman Jr., a guy who so many were so high on when he first came out of USC. That includes our very own Dave Campo, who recruited him to USC. 1,000 yards again last season, 1,152 yards on 109 catches. Again, I'm very curious. Gardner, Anthony Richardson, different quarterbacks, different skill sets. Shane Steichen has proven between his time in Los Angeles, Philly, and now Indianapolis that he can create a game plan and create a structure around that quarterback skill set. But what does that mean for those pass catchers?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So at number 6, I have Brian Thomas Jr. I know that that's very high for a rookie, but I have such high faith or such belief in him and faith in him. And being able to watch him the last 2 days, that has cemented it. And obviously, this is a guy who's coming into a system where he doesn't have to be the number 1 wide receiver. Yet I think that's what he'll turn out to be on this team, even though we know the connection between Trevor and Christian. All right, number 5.
Yeah, 5 for me. I have Michael Pittman at 5. I think that, he missed games this year and had 1,100 yards. And I personally do think that I know there's very high expectations, but / question marks around Anthony Richardson. But I do think that if Anthony Richardson plays anywhere close to his ability, that this isn't going to drop off at all. So if Michael Pittman does play a full season, we're seeing 1,300 yards from Pittman. He was just shy of the 1,000 yard in 2022, so almost 3 straight seasons of 1,000+ yards. So yeah, he is 5 for me.
I have Tank Dell.
Okay.
At number 5. Maybe it's recency bias, maybe it's not, but he played just 11 games and had 709 yards, 7 touchdowns, and an average of 15.1 yards per catch of his 47 catches. A third rounder, late third rounder out of the University of Houston, of course, a Florida native. I don't want to say that I have high hopes for him because obviously, needless to say, in this town, we're hoping the Texans and their high hopes don't come to fruition and they can't actually reach that level. But he is an explosive player. He is an exciting player. He is arguably one of the fastest wide receivers in this division, if nothing else.
And so you had Tank Dell and I
5.
have Nico Collins 5. And I think with a guy like CJ Stroud, the way that their offense is going to go. And so, spoiler alert, I think we'll all have some Texans high in our top 10. Yeah. But yeah, Nico over 1,200 yards last season, also 8 touchdowns. He's a really good, I'd say, number 2 receiver there in Houston. All right, we will give you our 1 through 4 when we come back. Plus, Taylor has a tangent. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
This hour is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. Now, 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I don't like your style, your politics, or your sense of humor.
Mornings.
I don't like what you say or how you say it.
I think you're bluffing. On 1010XL.
Mia here, and it was 1 year ago this week that a nasty thunderstorm flooded my backyard, knocked out my AC, and I was in an absolute panic. Who did I call? My friends at Duck Duck Air Conditioning, of course. They are a full-service AC company, and they provide full system replacements and repairs to your current systems. Be like me and call 904-862-6769 to schedule service right away. And don't forget, Duck Duck Rooter is also a full-service plumbing and septic company, and of course, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Vegas, baby. This is Taylor Dahl from Helmets and Heels, and we're sending one lucky listener to Circa Resort and Casino this December. Win a free 3-night stay with $200 food and beverage credit, plus a daybed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen at Circa, you'll huddle up with the Heels at the Overhang Bar for our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and giveaways. For a chance to win this all-in package to Circa with Helmets and Heels, enter at 1010XL.com/Vegas.
And if you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, Circa Resort and Casino has a special rate just for Jacksonville fans. Mia here, and for just $500, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 in food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available till August 30th, so act now. Book and join the Heels in Vegas. Visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
Hey folks, it's Jennifer Marion. Randy Marion Cadillac is the pinnacle of luxury in the First Coast area.
And guess what? We've got the all-new Cadillac Lyriq with $16,000 off MSRP.
That's right. You pick the color and drive away today in ultimate style.
Experience the future of driving with the Cadillac Lyriq. Electric, elegant, and exhilarating.
Visit us online at RandyMarionCadillacofJacksonville.com or come see us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Don't miss out on this unbeatable deal. Plus tax tag title, $8.99 admin fee and resist all.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
College football starts here. If you miss any great interviews and reactions from ACC Kickoff, you can catch up or listen again
at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
And Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
The coolest thing going on right now is the summer fan sale with 3 ways to save at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Browse their huge selection of high-quality fans to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Buy 1 fan, save 10%. Buy 2, save 15%. Buy 3 or more and save 20% off summer pricing on all fans. Visit their showroom near the avenues while inventory is still available and discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Soccer fans, don't miss your chance to see teams from the English Premier League compete in the Stateside Cup right here in Jacksonville. Competition will be fierce when Wolves and West Ham United take the pitch under the lights at Everbank Stadium July 27th. It's Premier Soccer at a premier venue for one night only. Tickets are going fast. Buy yours today at StatesideCup.com.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at PrimeRoofingFL.com. That's PrimeRoofingFL.com.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for express equity line of credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do, what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 2854-LAW. 2854-LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Light up your lunch with Helmets and Heels.
Presented by First Coast Lighting and Fans.
On 1010XL.
Taylor Dahl is here. Mia O'Brien, RJ Saunders. Also our trainee Max Fink on the board. I'm Lauren Brooks. By the way, you know how we call him T-Law?
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of people call you T-Doll?
There are some people that say T-Doll. Okay. I have a ton of different nicknames because it is like T-Doll or Dollface or Tater, or there's like a lot of little nicknames that people have for either Taylor or Doll. So there are definitely some people. TD was a lot of TD, and I guess it's just easy. But yeah, so a lot of nicknames, but T-Doll is in the one of them of the many.
I was thinking of Taylor at practice whenever you get out to it and people screaming for T-Law and then her being like, oh,
yes,
I'm here. Thank you for recognizing.
I don't want to rep. Thank you.
All right, let's get it to our top 4 wide receivers in the AFC South. Mia, I'll start with you. Who's number 4?
Her number 4, it's a Lifetime Achievement Award. I am giving the honor to DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
And while I certainly have another Lifetime Achievement Award to give out in this top 4, we already know that D-Hop is on the back end of his career.
Yeah.
The other person who's going to get the Lifetime Achievement Award and be in the top 4, we don't know. Very well still could be an elite wide receiver in the National Football League. But to D-Hop's credit, even with the abysmal quarterback situation as it was last year, is it Ryan Tannehill? Is it the rookie Will Levis? He still managed to go over 1,000 yards, 75 catches, and 7 touchdowns. What was most impressive for me was that 14.1 yards per catch average, especially given outside of Week 18 against the Jags, the lack of verticality in that offense.
All right, number 4, Taylor?
Yeah, 4 for me is Christian Kirk. I think that I love Christian Kirk. I'm a big Kirk fan. We saw what this offense was without Christian Kirk. He has 1,000-yard season, and I would like to see also 1 full season as a whole. I'd like to see him be able to be on the football field consistently throughout the year, which we've only seen once in 2022. So I do want to see that a little bit. I know guys like DeAndre Hopkins also has battled some injuries too. I do think that this could drastically change within 1 year when it comes to my rankings of wide receivers. But I do think right now, for me, Christian Kirk does enough to be that one of those top receivers in the AFC South, but he's not a top 3 for me.
I've got Michael Pittman, whom I know you already had on your list. He's basically, I think, the best receiver in Indianapolis, and that means he's the go-to guy, whether that was last year for Gardner Minshew or whether it'll be this year for Anthony Richardson, assuming that he can stay healthy. By the way, I've been thinking, this is a completely different subject, but the Colts should have done everything in their power to keep Gardner Minshew because AR has been hurt his entire career between college, certainly, and now the NFL. Like, you've got to keep him.
Lauren, come on. They have the greatest backup quarterback of all time, Joe Flacco, now backing Anthony up. So all is well.
Yeah, he's like my age. All right.
Yeah, we watched that last year, though, and he came on strong at the end of the year.
I mean, look, can lightning strike twice? Remains to be seen.
Like I said, if I was them, I would have kept Gardner because
definitely
you know he fits your system. Shane Steichen did great things with him last year.
I mean, they shocked everybody. Nobody would have said they were going to win 9.
Yeah,
and in Philly. I mean, he helped Gardner win games in Philly when Jalen Hurts was hurt. Have either of you been keeping up with Hard Knocks, the offseason program with the Giants? Okay. It was a
little bit, but not much.
It was very funny watching the episode from this week last night in which they're discussing the backup quarterback market, and Joe Flacco was among the first names that they were like, oh, Flacco we could probably get for like $4 or $5 million. He played pretty well last year, and all I could think was, this man won a Super Bowl like 10 years ago. And I understand he is, in his 40s, and I get it, but it's just still so weird to live in a world in which, Joe Flacco, great backup quarterback.
All right. I think we left off number 3, top 3. Who you got?
Yeah, so my three is DeAndre Hopkins. I think until we do not see 1,000-yard DeAndre Hopkins, he's still going to be one of the best wide receivers in the league to me, despite age. I think that last year, going to Mia's point, with the kind of wildness that they had in Tennessee at quarterback and offensively in general, he still surpassed 1,000 yards. The 2 years before that, he was battling injury, and it was Kyler Murray injury and what the heck is going on in Arizona. And it wasn't his best 2 years. But beyond that, he's been a 12, 13, 1,400-yard receiver. And I think that I think we're still going to see that for 2-3 more seasons, in my opinion. And like I said, it's more so until I don't see it, it's there.
I have Nico Collins at number 3. Is that the highest of any of us?
For
yes,
Nico?
because I had him at 5.
No, I have Nico at 2.
Oh, you do? Okay. So I have Nico Collins at 3. The reason I won't put him in the top 2 is because, quite frankly, he was all but left for dead after 2 years in Houston. And part of that was the anemic quarterback play, different head coaches, different schemes, wasn't able to stay healthy. Just 33 catches his first year, 37 the next year, and then explodes for 80 catches and over 1,200 yards, 3 yards away from 1,300 yards, which was the most of any wide receiver in the AFC last year. The pause that I have, though, is can he replicate that? Can he do that again, or is that his ceiling? I know he just got a mega extension in Houston. It's based off a 1-year sample size. And while it was a tremendous 1-year sample size and it was in just 15 games and you're banking on the play of C.J. Stroud taking another level and that helps him, I have reservations solely because he struggled at Michigan at times to stay healthy as well.
All right, at number 3, I've got the one, the only Christian Kirk. I think he showed his importance last year when the offense completely fell apart without him. We know he is determined because we read the story that Ty Dunn wrote. We also talked to Ty Dunn of golongtd.com, and I think his entire career, he has been the guy who has really been focused on being as close to Larry Fitzgerald as he possibly can be. Obviously, he was his mentor to begin things. And I think he can play everywhere on the football field as far as the receiver position goes. I don't mean he can play offensive line, but I think they can line him up anywhere as far as receiver. And I think I think he gets a little bit frustrated when people talk about the speed of the other 2 receivers. And I think he's like, y'all,
me too.
I'm also really fast. Yeah. I can play outside. And so I've got Christian Kirk at 3.
I have him at number 2.
Okay.
And I
debated at 2 or 3.
It's honestly, it's because look at what happened when he wasn't there. And I don't think there's a wide receiver who is as important to the offensive operation, for better or worse, in the division than Christian Kirk. And last year proved that. He will never have the name recognition that the person who I have at number 1 has.
Do we all have Stephon Diggs at number 1?
We all have Stephon Diggs at number 1, which was tough for me because if the argument for Christian Kirk to be number 2 in my rankings is that the offense struggles without him, you could make the argument that Buffalo's offense got better when there were less targets going towards Stephon Diggs last year. And like I said with D-Hop, this is a Lifetime Achievement Award, but at the same time, I don't know which Stephon Diggs we're going to get in Houston, because if we get the one that we saw in his last year in Minnesota or the first 2 years in Buffalo, first 3 years in Buffalo, there is no debate. He is the best wide receiver in the division. But if he's the guy we saw the last 5-6 games last year, part of that was he wasn't being targeted. Part of it was the offense was flowing just fine without him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my number 2 was Nico Collins. I just think that, to your point, Mia, where the beginning of his career, it was a mess. Like we want to justify some of the things that happen here in Jacksonville. You've got to do the same for him when it comes to what was going on offensively, coaching-wise, quarterback-wise, weapons-wise surrounding him, offensive line-wise, everything else in Houston. And last year, when you see him actually have a quarterback who can get him the ball and a functional coach and a functional offense, he had the second highest missed tackle rate by wide receivers in the NFL. That was just behind Debo. It was Debo, him, and Zay Flowers. The rest were all running backs. He had one of the highest yards after catch rates in the NFL. He was just behind only Tyreek Hill in yards per route ran last year, and he caught over 50% of his contested catches. Kid can do everything. He's like a cheat code. I think we're going to be talking about him being a top wide receiver in the AFC in general in the next couple years. Unfortunately, it's in Houston, but I just think that's what he is. He's one of those guys that you just felt like when we talk about a guy being able to be everywhere, he was able to be everywhere. And I think that it wasn't a one-off wonder, in my opinion. This is a guy we're going to see just get better and better.
I've got Tank Dell at 2 because he only played in 11 games. He had over 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. Imagine if he had played in the final 6-7 games that Houston played. And so, like I said, we all have Stephon Diggs at number 1, but that goes to show me that we each had 3 Texans wide receivers in the top 10. Mia, you had 2 Jaguars in your top 10.
3. No, I had Gabe. And I had BTJ at 10.
Oh, you had, that's right. You
Yeah,
had
I had
Brian Thomas
Gabe.
Jr. So you have 3 Jags, so that's good news. And then you and I, Taylor, only have 2.
No, I had
because
3.
you
Oh,
had
yeah,
Gabe.
2.
You didn't have Gabe. Yeah. That's what I thought.
No, I do have Gabe. I have Kirk and Gabe and BTJ, so I have 3.
Oh, okay. So I'm the only one who left off Gabe. I apologize, Gabe. I just couldn't get you on the top 10.
I have an update. An update to what we led the program with, ladies. Again, we love our friends at the Florida Times-Union. We love our friend Gary Smitter. Smitter is currently getting absolutely roasted online for their headline on Jacksonville.com that Trevor Lawrence isn't playing like a $275 million man, which, hey, listen, I'm pleasantly surprised because I anticipated this being tons of fans from other teams taking this and running with it. No, it's Jacksonville fans saying we are 2 days in, Gary. This is a little bit too hard, to which Gary said, I pointed that out in the second paragraph. Well, my guy, the headline suggests differently.
That's why it's called burying the lead.
Yeah.
If your lead is the fact that Trevor doesn't look like a $275 million man, that's what people are going
But
to
also,
see.
people also reading that have to relax a little bit too, because he's not lying. Like we just spent the whole first segment saying that the offense doesn't look like it should be at this point. But let's preface it with saying that it's early in camp.
I mean, I thought Trevor looked and the offense looked really good yesterday. Right. So I guess I don't sit on the side of people should be panicking. And again, that Smitter's saying
I'm not panicking. Right. I'm not panicking. But again, and Taylor and I agreed that the photo that was chosen is hilarious.
I mean, that was it makes you should want to click that and read what he's saying. But the problem is people don't. They just read the title. And probably didn't make it to paragraph 2 where he was justifying, okay, but let me tell you this.
And I'll just tell you that my quick hits, the caption is it's a chicken or the egg question. Did Trevor and the offense struggle, or is the defense that good? Mm-hmm. And additionally, like I said, the other sub-argument of that is Trevor wasn't overthrowing the ball. He wasn't throwing the ball to the wrong receiver and there's nobody there. It was just very clear that the wide receivers were running the routes they were assigned and they could not find separation from the defender who was man-marking them.
Yeah, I'm excited about the secondary. I'll say that after watching the first 2 days in Ryan Nielsen's defense. All right, when we return, Taylor has a tangent. We have a Chick-fil-A giveaway as well. One segment to go here on Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This hour of Helmets and Heels is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Florida State. Subscribe to 1010XL Seminoles YouTube channel, up-to-the-minute updates, analysis, and more. Plant the spear and subscribe to 1010XL Seminoles channel today.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Enjoy the thrill of the grill at John Smith Subs with specialty subs like the Steak Bomb, the Gator, plus a full lineup of cold and hot deli subs, including the best Cuban and Duval. Bring your big mouth to John Smith Subs on Hodges and JTB.
If you want to go big, you got to get low with a low down payment and a low monthly payment during the Big One sales event at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and low payments mean big savings. And during the Big One sales event, you can buy a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla for just $1,000 down and $288 per month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $1,000 down and $388 per month. But this is the big one, so there's even more ways to save, like more than 100 vehicles under $18K. Is that even possible? It is at Arlington Pre-Owned. Want big selection? Arlington Pre-Owned has over 400 used cars in stock. You even get Arlington's 60-day exchange program. That's 60 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Don't wait. Shop the Big One sales event at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/offer for full details.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Training camp is about the basics.
Focus on the fundamentals.
Every time something you need to know happens at training camp, you'll hear about it on 1010XL. Brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control and Roland Reach Plumbing.
The Reggie Hunt Memorial Golf Classic fundraiser golf tournament is Friday, October 25th at Amelia River Golf Club. All proceeds support Big Brothers Big Sisters. Register at the Big Brothers Big Sisters events page.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Pross, I'm thinking about changing my name.
Again? You're already the media mogul, the straw that stirs the drink, the Duke of Pablo Bay. Now what?
Refer to me as Dreamfinders Danny Hicken.
What in the blazes? Is this a cash grab?
No, it's just that I believe so much in Dreamfinders Homes. 20 locations in Northeast Florida, official home builder of Jags and Gators. Great opportunity for first-time homeowners.
All right, Dreamfinders Danny it is.
Did I mention the lowest interest rates you can find? Visit dreamfindershomes.com. Now let Dreamfinders Danny celebrate through the majesty of song. Dreamfinders, I believe they will build your home just right.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hicken here. Brace for hurricane season with our friends at Rhino Shield. Their home exterior coatings withstand 96-mile-per-hour wind-driven rains, keeping your home safe and dry. Rhino Shield's advanced ceramic technology also helps keep your home cooler and reduces your energy bill. This summer, take advantage of their 30% off, 0% interest financing offer, plus a 25-year warranty. Call Rhino Shield, 414-4868. That's 414-4868 for a free estimate, or visit rhinoshieldjax.com. That's rhinoshieldjax.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Kept classy by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
On 1010XL.
Mia O'Brien, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl had a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
All right, to begin, we made it through the whole show, and it popped in my head just now. Happy birthday, Lauren Brooks.
Yes.
I was like sitting here, and I'm like, it's the 25th. Oh, my gosh.
Thank you.
So happy birthday. I feel like we were talking about this yesterday, how previous years, it was like on the Tuesday 2 years ago, and the year before that, we ended up and that was when we were here until 8 p.m. every night. So you had to be here until 8 p.m. on your birthday 2 years ago. The year before, for whatever reason, we had moved heels to Monday, so you were here until 8 p.m. So I'm glad you get to be free at 2 and hopefully enjoy your birthday a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah, it always falls on training camp, and so I love going to practice.
Yeah.
So it's always exciting to me when people are like, "Oh, I hope you don't have to work." I'm like, "No, I get to go
little
watch."
gift.
Yeah, I get to go watch Jarian Jones be trash talking the offense. I love it. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And so aside from that, the Jacksonville Jaguars reveal a new alternative helmet alternate helmet.
We hadn't gotten to this yet.
Thank God it isn't one that they forgot to finish painting like they did a few seasons ago with the matte and not matte. I know a select few people like them. They were just weird to me. But yeah, so for the 2024 season, they unveiled another element to the uniform. We obviously got the throwbacks recently, and now we're getting a white helmet. If you've seen the picture, I think it looks fantastic. I like the pop of the white. I think also with the teal, I'm waiting for the combo. It hasn't been officially announced on the combo of what they're doing. And
there was a lot of debate on that.
People do not want the black jerseys with the shell.
I want the
helmets.
white pants, teal, and then the white helmet.
You want teal jerseys,
white pants.
I'd also be okay with the all white.
Yeah, I would be okay with all white too.
That's fine by me.
But I do like I feel like with the teal jersey, that white would pop a ton. But yes, both options I think are great. But yeah, so all matte white helmet. It was going to debut in week 10, the home matchup against the Vikings. I think that some of the other teams we've seen recently release those white helmets are the Vikings. Actually, they have theirs this year too. They're using theirs again in week 15 against the Bears. The Bengals, we obviously saw theirs. The white helmets, I think, are very, very popular. At most time, the teams, when it comes to the Bengals, the Browns, the Broncos, the Vikings, and Jags now have the white helmets. And I think everybody likes the white in all of them. So that's a positive. But like I said, cool. Another element of a new uniform, another positive thing coming out of this season, because people have been shouting for an alternate helmet for a while now.
Yeah, were you
since
driving?
The bad ones.
Absolutely. Were you driving when the shell white helmets this morning were released?
No, I was brushing my teeth, and Kevin was waiting on high alert. And so I texted Taylor Dahl, who I don't even think was awake yet, and Trent, our video content producer, and I was like, don't worry, I got it. I'm brushing my teeth. I'll reshare it, get it posted on all of our accounts. I'm awake. I'm about to get in the car. But thank you to our friend Made by Tim, who, of course, does such amazing designs for DTWD Originals and also with the Players' Championship, who is very familiar with the handbook. So here is the official explanation from the National Football League and the uniform coordination rules. So alternate helmets are only allowed to be paired with the team's designated alternate uniforms. That's where this is going to be interesting because as you probably remember 3 years ago, the Jaguars made teal their primary color.
Yeah.
White is technically the away color, and then black is the alternate. So that is why this idea of a black uniform and a white helmet is probably what we're going to see.
Yeah.
Week 10 against when the Jaguars play the Minnesota Vikings. There is
schmools.
Well, so then there's also this. Unless
that feels so weird. Just let us dress ourselves.
I've got more. We've got more. Thank you to Tim. Unless the Jags receive special permission from the league, teams can only wear their secondary or alternate uniforms 3 times a year, which translates to they will have 2 games this season in which they wear the throwback uniforms and then this white helmet game against the Minnesota Vikings.
Can they wear the white helmet with the throwback?
No.
Okay.
I don't know that I'd like
I don't
the
know
white
either.
helmet
That's
with
why
the
I was
throwback because that's a little too
Or maybe
new
they
school
could because
with the
technically
old
it's an
school.
alternate. Yeah, that's true.
But it's also, I feel like the throwback looks so old school. I feel like it would mesh weird because it'd be like very modern looking mixed with that old school look.
Yeah, I agree. We've also got a giveaway from Chick-fil-A.
We do. Lunch on the ladies. If you give us a call at 641-1010, let's say caller number 2 gets 2 gift cards to Chick-fil-A on us.
I love it. All right, when it comes to our Vegas trip, I know we had some people that wanted to know, can they still get in? Can they still register? It goes now through August 9th, so make sure you hit the website. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter as well, or if you follow us on social, we've got it out on that. But you win a 3-night stay at Circa in Las Vegas.
Yes. So, yes, you can still, it's 1010xl.com/Vegas is where you can go to register if you want to go directly to the website. But it is everywhere. You will see it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. It's on our link tree. It's everywhere. Just click that pay. It will take you to our website, have a form for you to fill out. And then if you also want an additional entry, make sure you are subscribed to our new 1010XL Weekly, which is the newsletter that dropped about a month ago. Every Wednesday at 10:10, it drops ton of cool stuff in that newsletter too. I know we've mentioned it a little bit, but you also have more opportunities to win stuff through the newsletter. I know we do have some Jags tickets, some Gator tickets coming up on that soon, so make sure you're subscribed to that, not only to get that entry, but also some of the other giveaways and fun inside scoop stuff you'll get.
Yeah, I know in this week's edition of 1010XL Weekly, a Top Dog Tavern gift card is up for grabs, so another reason that it's so easy. All you have to do, again, you can go to our website. You could go to the 1010XL link tree, which if you need to get there, go to 1010XL's Twitter or Facebook. It's in the bio. Click that. Your link to join 1010XL Weekly, subscribe is right there. You put your email in there, And then you go to the Vegas page, 1010xl.com/Vegas. You put your email in there. You literally could copy and paste it if you really want to. And now, boom, you now have 2 chances to win that amazing package. 3-night stay at Circle Las Vegas Resorts, not to mention the food credit, the pool opportunity, and so much more.
Yeah, the hot tub, really, because it'll be December. So bring your bathing suit and be ready for the hot tub. All right, Mia, yesterday you talked to Andre Sisco. Today you talked to Trevis Gipson. Do you know who you're talking to tomorrow?
Not yet. We are still finalizing that, as you probably have seen if you follow 1010XL Jaguars, if you are subscribed to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube page. If you're not, you should be. We have quite a few reporters out there doing interviews, and so we're finalizing and orchestrating who is speaking to who. What I can...
Team 1010 is in full force.
Yeah, what I can tell you, I just got the text, so did Taylor. Hayes Carlyons one-on-one with Trayvon Walker is now available on the 1010XL Jaguar channel. You also will hear from Dewey Wingard later today on the 1010XL Jaguars channel, as well as on Hacker After Dark. This was Hacker's first time interacting with Dewey Wingard. He literally, I think his jaw was like on the floor. He walked over to me and was like, that was the greatest interview I've ever. And I was like, yeah, I know. He's a walking soundbite. It's great. He's a good dude. And, of course, it came on a day in which Dewey had 2 picks of Trevor Lawrence, so what better timing? And so from today, we will have Trayvon Walker, Trevis Gipson, in case you missed that interview that we aired live during the 12 o'clock hour here on Helmets and Heels, Dewey Wingard, Ronald Darby, and Brenton Strange, Rick Ballou with Brenton Strange. That will also come up on Into the Night in a little bit.
Good stuff. All right, let's give our final observations from training camp day 2 earlier today. The biggest storyline, obviously, going around the internet would be the fact that Trevor Lawrence isn't playing up to snuff, but as we dispelled that myth, while, yes, it wasn't a great day for him, he did play really well yesterday, and again, it's only day 2. What we have no idea is what are they asking Trevor to do, play in and play out, and at what point is the defense just playing really well?
Yeah, and again, it speaks to the defense and some of the plays that were made, which included 2 pass breakups by Ronald Darby, the aforementioned 2 interceptions by Dewey Wingard. I also picked up on a couple other battles in the trenches. Number 1, Andre Carter, the undrafted free agent out of Army. He's a big dude. I hadn't actually gotten a chance to see him up close and personal when he was here for OTAs, but seeing him in the 11-on-11 period, that's a full-grown man. And so when you heard Ryan Nielsen referencing the need to have Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker working with other guys, not just each other on opposite ends of a defensive front, Trevis Gipson's the obvious answer. Eric Armstead's on the PUP right now, so he's not one of those guys rotating in. But Carter is certainly somebody. DJ Coleman as well, who spent last year on the practice squad. So those are some names that when he said that earlier, and if you were listening to the Jaguars.com broadcast and like, who are these guys that could possibly be opposite Trayvon and Josh and provide depth? Those are certainly some of them, in addition to Miles Cole, the 7th-round pick out of Texas Tech. I also saw Josh Allen at one point literally bulldoze Cam during 11-on-11s. I don't know if you saw that, if you were there. Really got the best of him. They were able. It was a running play, and so Tank was coming behind Cam with Cam as the lead blocker, and Josh Allen absolutely stuffed him. Josh Hines Allen, he added an extra name with the hyphen to his last name on the back of the jersey, and he looks bigger too. Not only is his last name longer, he looks longer, he looks larger, and that is just what they need, especially if without Eric Armstead there, he's kind of filling that big end role right now. Some other notes from me, as far as some of the younger guys go, we did mention Devin Duvernay. 2 touchdowns from C.J. Beathard down the sideline. Didn't have a drop today. Neither did Parker Washington. Showcased some elite speed, weaving in and out of traffic. Josh Cephas is going to continue to be a name we're going to talk about because we always love in Jacksonville. Who's that undrafted rookie free agent who we go, ooh, that guy. Yeah, we want him to make the 53. If you've gone to any Jaguars training camp over the last 2 years, 2+ years, because 2022 I know was kind of weird with it being at the Episcopal Complex, Evan Ingram is the only skill player, Lauren, who really warms up with the quarterbacks. Today, Josh Cephas was over there with Evan Ingram and the quarterbacks. I just found that interesting. And I don't know what it means. I probably would like to believe it speaks to what Trevor Lawrence said yesterday at the podium, which is I need work with more than just the top 3 wide receivers because we never know whose number is going to be called. But it was interesting that was the guy who they said, go on over there. Warm up with Evan and the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I assume Cephas asked for extra reps as far as that's concerned. But yeah, for me, actually, RJ, hit the cool down and then I'll give you my takeaway.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
2 takeaways for me. 1, Cam Little is going to be the starting kicker on this team. Sorry, Riley Patterson. And 2, fascinating to watch Ryan Nielsen interact with these defensive players and really see how the linebacking core is shaping up. I do believe we are going to see Foye Oluokun, middle linebacker, Devin Lloyd as the Will, and Chad Muma as the starting Sam linebacker when we talk about that base 4-3 defense.
Best tweet I've seen today. Thank you, Patrick, on X, one of our Heeligans, for this. Don't forget, Andrew Wingard is Trevor Lawrence's stunt double, if only in a schedule release video. So the irony of one long-haired gentleman picking off another long-haired gentleman. Perhaps they switched roles today and no one actually knew. I'm just kidding. It's okay for
Slight height difference.
It's okay for the defense to have a good day, which is what they had today. Although, like I said, while I think the offense was trying new things out, I would like to see plays schemed up where you see a wide receiver breaking free, like I see in this clip of Aaron Rodgers throwing to Garrett Wilson down the sideline in Florham Park, New Jersey. Sorry, Taylor.
Yeah, so for me, I think Doug Peterson earlier in the year kind of like snickered at the more aggressive, but we're seeing more aggressive defensively, and I think that's what we've been asking for. And I know you're like, every defense is aggressive. There are more aggressive defenses, and it was what lacked in certain aspects last season, especially down the stretch. And I think that now what we're seeing from the secondary, especially in these first 2 days of camp, when it comes to the interception, when it comes to the pass breakups, when it comes to not letting these wide receivers get any separation. And I know some of it is on the offense figuring stuff out, but I do want to give credit to the defense and them. This attack style defense that we're seeing from Ryan Nielsen and some of these guys, I think is going to be really beneficial, not only once we get into game time, but I think also right now in camp for Trevor Lawrence and the offense of them trying to actually having a defense where they are getting tested week by week during camp leading up to the season.
You know what tomorrow is?
Feel Good Friday.
That's right. Training camp practice day 3 and a Feel Good Friday. That's going to do it for us today. For Mia O'Brien, for Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. Don't go anywhere. XL Primetime comes up next. By the way, first padded practice Tuesday of next week. So get ready for that. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow on a Feel Good Friday.